To get started with sending a campaign, make sure you're sending from Smart Rotator. If you don't have Smart Rotator available, you need to turn it on in settings. If you don't have enough numbers in your system, you need to make sure you obtain additional numbers for your number pool. You select your group that you're sending to. Let's pick all contacts. You write your message, you pick your speed down here, and then you hit send. That's it. You'll see your campaign status over here, how many were successfully sent. Orange is how many errors there were, they weren't delivered. And red are blocks. And then gray is showing how many that you started out with. So right here, this score is very, very important. There's 4 types of categories that your messages might fall under. Personal, neutral, commercial, which means, like a business message, and spammy. And I'll show you a couple examples of those. So let's say, you were saying miss you. The system will check, and it has, high confidence that this is a personal message. But you might say something like, how are you? And, it doesn't really know if you're sending to personal or not. That's considered neutral. And then you might be sending out an update like we did here. And you can see it thinks that this is a commercial message, which it is. Now, you might think, oh, wow, okay, I'll just send, whatever spammy thing I want and nothing bad will happen. This system will show you that it will. So let's try make 1 mil in 5 seconds. You can get rich now. Give it a second to double check that. You can see, boom, it has 94% confident that this is going to be considered spam by the carriers. We're not talking about considered spam by us. We're talking about the carriers. So when you send your message from our platform to a Verizon customer, AT&T customer, whatever it is, those carriers have their own machine learning algorithms that are analyzing the message that you're sending. It's analyzing, how many times they've responded versus your response. What type of words are being used in the response. Are they angry at you? Are they happy to get your messages? All those type of things are calculated. So we built this machine learning tool right here to help you predict what the carriers are going to think of your message. That way you can keep rewording it in order to get a lower score. I don't suggest you send anything if it claims that the score is spammy. It's not perfect. If you know it doesn't sound spammy and our score says it is, then just ignore it. But it's at least giving you a good hint. This has some features like you might have, you might be wondering, what is the first message I should send out? And you might start out with something like, hey, and use this feature down here for first name, smiley face, right? So this would just be considered neutral. It would replace first name with the name of the person, of course, if you had uploaded that person's name in your contacts list. If it doesn't, it will just remove this and they will receive a message that looks like this, right? Make sure your very first message out gets a lot of inbound responses. That's all you really care about, is warming up your list, establishing your number pool as having a good reputation, highly trusted. You need to have two-way conversation with the customers. Otherwise, your deliverability rate will probably go down over time. You may start seeing a lot of numbers getting blocked. And if you do, use our auto replace feature for blocked numbers. The very worst thing you can do is send out, some type of thing that's basically soliciting them and giving them the link on the very, very first message you've ever sent them. That's a recipe for poor deliverability rate and a high spam rating. Now, if you've already had communications with them, it basically whitelists you with that carrier, or at least the phone number, then your deliverability rate stays high over time. So a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to blast out and I don't care. Then they come and complain and say they're not getting good results. We teach them how to turn on their autoresponders, their follow-ups, make sure they're doing all the best practices, and boom, they're getting amazing results again. So pay very close attention. Now, as you set out your first message, if you're a business and you've migrated your contacts from somewhere else, you might say something along the lines of, this is BizTexter. We have moved our customer list to a new texting system. we would, please respond with, let's say something like stop to end if you don't want our messages. Thank you. Okay, so it's not sure, you can see it flipping back and forth between, is it spammy or, is this a commercial? In this scenario, I would go ahead and say, okay, I know this is probably good enough. I would send this out. And what it will basically do, the stop to end, is a keyword in your opt-out responder over here, opt-out responders, and you should watch that video that explains it more. But you can add keywords here or just rely on our AI. Our AI is really good at catching opt-outs, but if you miss anything, make sure you put it in here. And so that stop to end is a way for them to opt out without triggering the carriers thinking that they opted out and blocking you from there for no reason. So don't use the word stop when you're telling people they can opt out. It's not going to work out. Anyways, so the other things you can do here is you can use templates. So if you have any preset templates, these are campaign templates. You can just click select and you can see it automatically puts it in here and it gives you your rating. You can also pull from your responders, which is a really cool feature. So if you've already set up a bunch of responders, you click one of these and it will insert it in here, and then you can also send them that way. Now the speed slider is important. The slower you send, the higher deliverability rate, everything is going to go a lot smoother. The faster you send, the more risk there is of some problems. Our system has been updated to allow you to keep it on max and not really get into the danger zone, but you can run it slower if you want. And if you need more numbers or you need more speed, you just click this and purchase your numbers. That'll be covered in another video. So hopefully you know enough now to start your campaign, warm up your list, and then you can use our other features like the auto replies and the timed follow-ups for drip campaigns in order to keep that list warmed up, keep it responsive, keep your communication going, because the more often you communicate with your customers in a positive manner that they like, the higher the chance of them responding favorably when you send out an actual solicitation, like to call you for some reason, to click a link, whatever you're send an email, whatever the case you're trying to get them to do. They're much more likely to do that if they've already trusted your number, they've already interacted with you. That's how you make a lot more money than you're used to with texting. So thank you for everything, and we are glad that you watched this video.